Good morning, grade 5. How are you all? Hope so you will be fine by the grace of Allah Almighty. Welcome back to your online classes. I hope you are following the instructions of your parent, staying at your home. Please take care of yourself. Stay blessed. Let's start our today's lecture. The title of your book is Oxford Progressive English for grade 5. Come to unit number 1. It's lesson number 3, that is of 2 expeditions. If you remember our first lecture, I told you that expeditions is a journey by a group of people for traveling, for exploration, for searching something. If you look at the pictures and the maps here, in map A, we can see that there is Pacific Ocean and Australia. Let me give you some introduction about this first, about the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean is the deepest and the largest of the Earth's oceanic divisions. It extends from Arctic Ocean in the north to the Southern Ocean and is bounded by continents of Australia and Asia in west and Americans in east. Australia is an island continent, and if we talk about map in picture B, we can see North Pole, Canada or Pacific Ocean. There is no country at the North Pole. It is just closest to the Canadian territory. There is no land at the North Pole. It's all ice that is floating on the top of Arctic Ocean. I'm having few questions here and you need to help me please. In map A, is the person traveling across land or across an ocean? Can you see some land or some area here? No. So the person is traveling across the ocean. And in map B, is the person traveling across land, across an ocean or across ice? If we are talking about the North Pole and the person is traveling from the North Pole, yes, obviously the person is traveling across ice. And what is the picture? What is the weather in picture C? What they are wearing? Jackets, cap, gloves. So it seems like the weather is frosty, like cold. Okay. And what is the man doing in picture number D? The man is rowing a boat. In text 1, not all children say to their mother, "Phone us from the North Pole, Mom," but and Daniel's 3 children said that to her just before she set off. Set off means when she started or began her journey. Set off on her expedition, when she started her journey. 3 months later, in 2002, she phoned her family on a satellite. Satellite means an artificial or man-made object put into the orbit around a planet to collect information and for communication. ऑर्बिट जैसे अर्थ है, मून है, इसके पास में प्लैनेट, आर्टिफिशियल प्लैनेट या एक बॉडी रख दी जाती है फॉर व्हाट पर्पस? टू कलेक्ट इंफॉर्मेशन एंड फॉर द कम्युनिकेशन. Phone to say, "I am here at the North Pole." That and Daniels has reached North Pole in 3 months. The next passage is for Anne and her co-traveler Caroline Hamilton. It was a double success. They were the first all-women team to walk to the North Pole. They had already walked to the South Pole. Their North Pole expedition was difficult. It was hard to pull their heavy sledges. What is sledges? It means a vehicle that convey loads or passengers over snow or ice. The ice was not flat but bumpy. That was not flat means that was not smooth, but bumpy means uneven, like a sheet on your bed after a sleepless night. If you had a uncomfortable night, you won't be able to sleep properly, and the sheet of your bed will be wrinkled. Or you can say that if you jump or play on the bed, the sheet will be also wrinkled. In the same way, the ice was not flat or even, said one explorer. Explorer means the researcher. It was cold, minus 50 centigrade. It was so cold that the third woman, Pom, had frostbite on her toes, and frostbite means injury caused by cold. So they phoned the research station for help. Please, could you send a plane for Pom? They asked. She can't walk any further. But Anne and Caroline walked on. They started their journey. They continuously walking. After a walk of 82 days across 1200 kilometers, they reached their base. Like they reached their destination in Canada again and rang home, and they called back to their homes. In text number 2, in March 2001, Jim Shekidar walked up the beach in Eastern Australia. When? In 2001. And who was the person? That person? Jim Shekidar. And what he did? He walked up the beach in Eastern Australia. What is beach? It's a sandy shore, especially by the sea. He had rowed alone across the Pacific. In this adventure, in this expedition, the guy was alone and he had rowed. Rowed means he traveled on this boat. इस बोट के लिए हम रोड यूज़ करते हैं और ये बोट कैसे चलती है? विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्टिक्स. आपको नज़र आ रहा है ना, ये स्टिक्स हैं. ठीक है, इन स्टिक्स को उर्दू में चप्पू कहा जाता है और इंग्लिश में दीज आर कॉल्ड ओर्स. ओर्स. ठीक है. He had rowed alone across the Pacific from east to west. कहाँ से कहाँ ट्रैवल किया उसने? From across the Pacific from east to west. The journey of 16,000 kilometers took him over 9 months. कितना टाइम लगा उसको 16,000 किलोमीटर्स को ट्रैवल करने में? It took 9 months लग गए उसको इतना ट्रैवलिंग में. At the last moment, big waves turned his boat upside down. When his success was in front of him, what did happen? उसकी बोट जो है वो waves के साथ हिट हुई और it turned upside down. Jim had to swim the last 200 meters to the beach. He left his boat and he started swimming. And how many meters are left? 200 meters. Don't help me, he called to the helpers on the beach. The helpers were on the beach, but he has not called anyone for the help. He want his success by himself. He want to make or to keep some record. I must do this on my own. वो कहता है मैं खुद से करना चाहता हूँ. For what? To make a record. ठीक है. Without help, he managed to break the record for this long cross-Pacific journey. He was alone in this long journey. Jim had several lucky escapes. Escape means to say to find some protection. He had saved his life many times. One night I was sleeping. When I woke up, suddenly I could hear an engine noise. When he woke, he heard a engine noise. When I looked out, I saw a huge ship coming towards me. Just imagine if you are sleeping and there is a huge some kind of thing in front of you, what you will do? Obviously you will be scared or डर जाओगे ना आप. I saw a huge ship coming towards me. Luckily it missed me by a few meters because he woke up, so he was saved. I was so shocked I couldn't sleep for a week. He was so scared that he was unable to sleep for a week. Sharks also appeared one day and circled the boat they were in round his boat. Jim tied a knife to a stick. What he did, he thought a plan to tie a knife with the stick. Then I pushed it into the side of one of the sharks. He was like trying to threaten the sharks so he can save his life. I didn't like it like that and soon disappeared. And after some time, the sharks disappeared. Jim jogged with reporters when he arrived in Australia. When he reached his destination, when he reached Australia, he was in a happy mood, or he was kidding with the reporters that don't come too close. I haven't had a bath for 274 days. वो 274 डेज से उसने शार नहीं लिया था, उसने बात नहीं लिया था. That is. Come to the exercise, like the question number 1, exercise 1 is read and match each text to a picture and a map. We have read the text in detail. I think you will be able to find out the answer. Okay, what we have learned in text 1, what we have read in text 1, that the weather was cold, and if they must be wearing some winter stuff, they must be the place will be the colder one, the coldest one. So what we can see in the first two, like which one is the coldest place? North Pole, am I right? And what about the picture? Which picture relates to it? Very good job. Picture number C. Very good job. So map B and picture C relates to text number 1. Is it clear? And if we talk about text number 2, the man Jim Schachter, he traveled to Australia from Pacific Ocean. So it means that map A and picture D relates to text number 2. Is it clear? Come to exercise number 2, that is underline the direct speech in the text for these sentences. First of all, we have must clear idea about the direct speech. Direct speech means repeats or quotes the exact words spoken. जो भी words use किए गए, बोले गए, उनको as it ही बताना. That is direct speech. Or what is indirect speech? Indirect speech is usually talk about past when we normally change the tense of the words spoken. There is just a little difference that in indirect speech we change the form of verb and we use some reporting verbs with that. We are not going in detail at this time, but when it will come in our grammar, this topic will come in grammar, we will do it in detail. So we have to find out the direct speech in the given text. The first one is, he told the reporters not to come too close. First of all, you have to recall that who told the reporters, who said the reporters not to come too close. That was Jim. Yes. At the end of his journey, Jim was the person who said the reporters that don't come too close. This is the answer. Don't come too close. Is it clear? The second one is, they asked the rescue station to send a plane for home. We know that it is in the first text because the name of the person is written here, and her co-travelers requested the rescue station, they called the rescue station to send a plane. So let me show you its answer, and that is in the passage number 1. It is here. Please could you send a plane for Pom? The third one is Anne's children asked her to ring them from the North Pole. It also relates to text number 1. When she was leaving, her children asked her to call like this, phone us from the North Pole. And the last one, he told the people on the beach not to help him. Who was that person who don't want to take help? Yes, Jim. So it is here, don't help me. Is it clear? So you have to revise today's lecture. You have to do its reading, okay, and try to learn the meanings of the difficult words given in the assignment. See you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.